After filming The Lost Weekend, Ray Milland was on the Paramount lot when a technician told him that he had seen a rough cut of this movie and he was sure that it was going to win an Oscar. Well, Ray Milland thought that this guy was kidding. But the technician bet him $5 that he'd not only be nominated, he'd probably also win. Ray Milland thought that this was so improbable that he gave this guy 50-to-1 odds. As you might have guessed, the technician ended up $250 richer, and Ray Milland didn't really mind paying up at all. The morning the nominations were announced, he and his wife were up at 5:30. They were eagerly awaiting the first edition of the morning paper. When Ray Milland's picture appeared on page 1, he sat down and he cried. On the night of the actual awards, Ingrid Bergman made the presentation. Ray Milland was so overwhelmed when she read his name. All he could do was run up on stage, and he grabbed the statue and he grinned and he took a bow and he ran off. Now let's look at this.
Next on American Movie Classics, Clark Gable and Susan Hayward lead a daring rescue mission for the man who could drive them apart. Soldier of Fortune. Next on American Movie Classics. He seemed like just a happy-go-lucky war hero.
A nice girl should never take me seriously. Never give me a second thought. No future in it for her.
But she saw something more behind the smiles.
If you knew he was going to die, would you still marry him?
Now they'll pack a lifetime of happiness into a few short weeks.
Sometimes when you're in a tight spot, you can live a year in 10 seconds.
Robert Cummings and Elizabeth Scott star in the romantic You Came Along. Thursday on AMC.
I get letters now, and they say, it starts, Dear Mr. Stewart, I'm 12 years old. My mom and pop, I liked your picture very much. I got a video of it, and I saw it, and I liked the video thing. And it's given me a whole new audience.
Join Professor Richard Brown on the next Reflections on the Silver Screen, Jimmy Stewart, Wednesday on AMC.
Coming soon on AMC.
They set out to cross a virgin continent and forge the destiny of a new nation. Lewis and Clark, the immortal heroes whose amazing expedition into the unknown was inspired by the towering vision of President Thomas Jefferson.
The dream on which this nation was built will never be secure until the United States stretches from the Atlantic to the Pacific.
In the annals of the West, they were the first. All others followed. And here in this mightiest of all frontier spectacles, you'll share the thrill of discovery, the beauty of the untamed wilderness no white man saw before them, the deadly dangers they were the first to face.
Man the swivel gun! Prepare to fire!
Fred McMurray as Captain Meriwether Lewis, Charlton Heston as dashing, impetuous Captain William Clark, Donna Reed, Academy Award winner for her performance in From Here to Eternity, as the Indian girl, Sacagawea, who led the white strangers, but followed the primitive code of her own people.
You have fought for me, and you have won. What? I belong to you now.
Their immortal romance, a glowing chapter in this imperishable saga, written in the blood, sweat, and glory of these soldiers in buckskin, who blazed a 2,000-mile trail of stirring adventure through 1,000 moments of savage danger.
Deep in the heart of Texas, where the gun makes the rules, John Wayne is the law.
I'd let it drop, friend. Let's make some music.
Robert Mitchum, James Caan, and Ed Asner co-star in an untamed Western classic, El Dorado, Wednesday, September 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on AMC. Help us make film history by saving it. Give generously to film preservation and get a great gift. Call 1-800-AMC-3360 now and make a donation of $25 to film preservation. You'll receive AMC's 100% cotton long-sleeve T-shirt featuring our Film Preservation Festival logo that will let everyone know you're an AMC fan. Call 1-800-AMC-3360 now and have your Visa or MasterCard ready. Help preserve our glorious past. Give generously to film preservation.
I'm going out and make the greatest picture in the world, something that nobody's ever seen or heard of.
The movie is King Kong. It's considered by many to be the greatest monster movie of all time, and it still holds up in the 1990s. I grew up going to the monster movies in the 50s and 60s in Portland, Oregon, going to the Rosewaite and the Park Rose Theater every Friday and Saturday, seeing triple features. I saw all of the great bug movies, It and Them and The Thing That Couldn't Die. I saw Steve McQueen drive backwards in The Blob about 40 times. But the greatest of all was made in 1933, and it really wasn't, well, it was more than just a monster movie. It was a great thriller and a love story, and the special effects were spectacular. People had never seen these kind of images before. It was a modern-day Beauty and the Beast story, and the Beast was, of course, King Kong. The story of King Kong is really a simple one. It's the story of an arrogant filmmaker planning on making a movie on a mysterious island, but there's one problem. He's still looking for a leading lady.
I've got a job for you.
But what is it?
It's money and adventure and fame. It's the thrill of a lifetime and a long sea voyage that starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Having found his leading lady, he then takes his cast and crew to a mysterious remote island, and there he encounters a group of wild natives who every year sacrifice one of their own to a giant gorilla. Well, they take one look at Fay Ray, and she's tied between two poles, and here comes King Kong. My first reaction to King Kong, especially as a movie critic, is that this is a classic film that holds up in 1990. I can still watch King Kong over and over again. I'm amazed when I look at the images of King Kong that they, in 1933, could pull off all this trick photography, that they could make spectacular miniatures, that they could make this 50-foot gorilla come to life. Also, I'm kind of terrified. I'm terrified of heights. And when I watch King Kong, it brings that fear back. It brings that emotional quality back. This whole concept that as an audience member, I feel in a sense like I'm Fay Ray, that King Kong is reaching out and grabbing me and picking me up. And then, to top it all off, run to the top of the Empire State Building, the tallest building in the world at the time, and set me on a ledge and fight the airplanes. It's a terrifying thought. King Kong was more than just trick photography. It was more than just images of a giant ape and a screaming girl. It was sympathy and terror and compassion on screen all at the same time. Maybe it was Beauty who killed the Beast, but after more than 57 years, the heart and soul of King Kong still beats on screen. For American Movie Classics, I'm Gary Cogill.
AMC presents Hollywood's legendary song and dance men in one of the warmest musicals of all time.
In your Easter bonnet,
featuring the Academy Award-winning White Christmas.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire star in Irving Berlin's Holiday Inn. Saturday on AMC.
This is Jazzbo, Al Collins. Let's swing back with the Soundies on AMC. The year's 1945. Alfred Hitchcock had audiences spellbound with his thriller starring Gregory Peck and Ingrid Bergman. On the panorama was this Soundie featuring Dick Baldwin and Paula Gray doing their rendition of I'll Remember April.